Welcome to Sculpture Studios. We've got a very tasty naked project lined up here where we're creating no, not that kind of naked. We're creating giant bottles for naked smoothie. There we go, that's the stuff. We've been contacted by Noam Piper, who's creating a shop window display for Whole Food Market. He wants 5 bottles to come in 5 different colours that represent the 5 flavours of the popular brand's drink. 4 of these will be around 70 centimetres tall, and the final bottle will be around 1.5 metres. All of these are going to be in proportion and simply scaled up in size. Noam sent a few sample bottles down to the studio for us to examine, so that we had a 3D model to copy. We also had a cheeky taste of the drinks to see what they were like. The idea is that though some of the flavours look very naturesome, they still taste great and are packed full of goodness. As these larger models are only ever going to be used in a shop window display, they're not going to be touched or handled by the general public, and they're not going to be relocated or reused again and again in multiple locations. Polystyrene with a soft plaster render is all that's needed for this job. Using a hot wire, the blocks are cut from large billets of polystyrene, and all the appropriate edges are then rounded off with wire brushes and sanded down to refine the shape. Even for an object like this, where it looks relatively simple at first glance, a lot of the time there are subtle nuances that go unnoticed. Not only are we trying to get all the general proportions correct, but we're breaking down the model into all its different parts to take into account details like the grip on the cap, the lip and the breakable ring underneath the cap, and the curvatures on the main body. Anything blown up in size, especially everyday items like this, should have all these sorts of details paid attention to, as they'll all be a lot more noticeable at a larger scale. Once the polystyrene is sanded down to a smooth enough finish, we go over with a water-based plaster filler. This filler, just trying some of the smoothing. This filler air dries and can be sanded down to a smooth but relatively delicate finish, so care needs to be taken when moving these around. From the client, we've received RAL codes so that we can colour match to the flavours themselves, and we've had these made up in water-based emulsions. This is both cost effective for the client and can be applied straight onto the plaster filler without corroding or affecting anything underneath. Though these aren't really going to be seen much from above, we wanted to include all the details, and this includes the naked logo. Rather than having vinyls made, we're keeping the cost down once again, and we're painting these by hand following a template. Once all the paintwork is dry, we've gone over everything with a semi-sheen lacquer to give it that plastic feel. We've also made note of the overall width and the body wraparound circumference, so the client can have large labels made up for each bottle. These gloss labels really gave that finishing touch, meaning that these were now ready to be set up on location. They looked fantastic on display, and the finished result really fit the brief well, and we'd like to thank Noam Piper for coming to us with the project. We'd also love to create the giant fruit next time, so if you've got any jobs like this in the pipeline, we look forward to working with you once again. Please feel free to leave any comments below, as they're always appreciated, and hit the subscribe button for our latest videos. You can like Sculpture Studios on Facebook and follow @Aden Hynes on Twitter, and for more of our work, visit sculpturestudios.co.uk. Thank you very much for watching.
Easy.